People of the Purple Butterfly here, otherwise known as People 7 on Blue Sky and YouTube, People elsewhere on the internet. My soaps located at purplebutterfly-soaps.myshopify.com, my blog, purplebutterfly-people.blogspot.com. And how you like the new fit? Yeah. It's a jersey that says Purple Butterfly Soaps and the number 7, and the back says People 7. That's custom made, y'all. That way, when I go to church and everybody says, "Oh, it's Bengals week. Wear your favorite jersey," and people show up with the Steelers and with Bengals jerseys and with different teams, I'm gonna show up in this. Plus, it's my new soaping uniform, and it's cool. It's pink. It's purple. It's everything in between. That's actually my logo. They let me upload my own logos. So let me know what you think. In the meantime, I'm about to make some watermelon lemonade soap. Stuff smells amazing. The colors I'm using is this pinkish orange called brazen hussy. It's actually a pigment, so I had to use water to disperse it. And bright yellow raincoat mica, which is dispersed in oil because you have to use oil for micas, water for pigments. Also, there's titanium dioxide for white, titanium oxide in the main batch. This is going to be a drop swirl with a hanger swirl treatment, so that way the drop swirl will give you loops like this, and the hanger swirl will curve those loops. So I'm putting those two elements together. In the meantime, the soap base is canola, lard, and soy short. I needed a slow moving swirl, so that's what I chose. And it happened to be out of olive oil, so I just recalculated to what I needed. That's why soap calculators are awesome. You just type in the oils you have, the amount you have, you push a button, and it tells you how much lye and water you need to make it come together. Yes. So in the meantime, this has been sitting here for a while, so let's get the temperature. It's 80, which explains the cloudiness because lard and soy short will both cloud up after it reaches a certain temperature. But I'm not going to reheat it. The lard will actually reheat it. And the lye water is finally down to 91 degrees. At first it was 150. So, yeah. I'm going to pour the lye water in. And then I'm going to put this in the sink. Give that a good rinse. Because you never want to leave active lye water or lye concentrate just sitting around in your kitchen. You want to make sure all of that is neutral before you finish. And when I put it in water, flood it, or what do you call it, rinse it, I know that's neutral by the time I go to clean up my soap pots and all that. It's just my process. In the meantime, I have my colors here. Let me move these over so I have a little more room. And that's the amazing thing. I just found out that my soaping area is actually bigger than Katie Carson's. She has an 18-inch area that she makes soaps in. I was thinking I had no room. with this 6-foot table. Anyway, let's get this party started, shall we? I'm actually going to move these over here until I need them. Because otherwise, I will keep bumping into them being in their own location. I'm bringing this just to emulsion. And as you can tell, I'm not wearing my face shield, so I got my face back here, so that way there's no splash in my face. Not quite there yet. We have an emulsion. I think I'm going to go for a light trace instead. With this being lye and soy short, I'm not going to risk a false trace, so we'll just bring it to a light trace instead of emulsion. In this, but from what I understand, it's supposed to be a perfect pour, strong scent retention, no acceleration, no separation, etc., 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 and no ricing. So now I'm going to split these into the color cups. I can't wait to see what brazen hussy looks like. Ooh, that's going to be pretty. And then, of course, the white. And since there's white in the cup, it's going to be a bright white. And then the bright yellow rain jacket. That's becoming my favorite yellow. And leave enough room at the top for the stick blender. Because otherwise that'd be splashy when I go to blend, and that won't be a good thing. That smells amazing. Now let me bring this to a deeper trace. Make sure you can actually see what I'm doing here. Yeah. Oh, that's better. That's at a very light trace now. Which is what we want, because when you have these at emulsion and then you're pouring the rest of base into a mold, you don't want that so low at emulsion that it doesn't blend. These will still be blended with the color, so that brings it to a light trace. So you don't want it to just be simply at emulsion. You want it at a trace, if that makes sense. I do believe I explain things well in my head. But if I don't explain it well enough for you to understand, it's like a moot point, if that makes sense. So, yeah. In the meantime, scrape all that out. Also, the fragrance note said that this scent can also deaccelerate, which means even if you get it to a trace, if the trace is too light, you'll end up a false trace, and nobody wants a false trace. That means the soap is split apart and just be sitting there and not become soap. That would suck. Okay. Oh man, y'all should smell this. Watermelon lemonade. Now personally, I can't drink lemonade because I'm allergic to lemons. But I do like the way it smells. And I do like watermelon. Never occurred to me the two can go together. That was not even a thought in my head. Okay. Now, if there's any overflow, we'll scrape that into an overflow mode. But for right now, I'm just going to put that over there. And we're going to just swing this back and forth with the hanger tool, which I already put in my mode. So that way it can get rid of the bubbles. Actually, I'm going to spray with alcohol to make sure there's no bubbles. So let me go get my spray bottle of alcohol. And give that a squirt. Good. Now I have no bubbles. Now we're going to bring the color cups over. Because this is going to be a drop swirl first, and then a hanger swirl. Okay, that yellow is intense. Brazen hussy just turned into the perfect color. Look at that. So imagine a watermelon with a little yellow from the lemonade. You get this color. And those two colors mixed with a little bit of TD is making a pale pinkish orangey color, which is why I did that. It's not pure white like the rest of the base. And I'm just going to go ahead and pour this in here. So it's giving a pale pink. And then we're going to put the hussy in there. I don't know how micas come up with the names of their colors, but some of the names of their colors be cracking me completely up. Like the bright yellow raincoat, that makes sense. It's bright yellow, literally the color of a raincoat. But brazen hussy? Who thought of that and why? But it is gorgeous, yeah. If I had thought about it, seeing how the tool is already in here, I would have tried to do a feather swirl, but I got this set up a different way than that, so that would not work for right now, for today's purposes. Yeah. We're going to save those colors for the topping. Well, let's add some more of that there. There we go. All things being equal. Now let's bring you over here so you can see what I'm doing better, hopefully. This is my hanger tool. You just see me pour the drop swirl. Now I'm going to take this. It goes zig, zag, then all the way down, all the way up. A couple of times. And that's how I get the signature look of my hanger swirl. And always I'm worried, did I overdo it? Is it going to be muddy, so forth and so on? And it always comes out very, very pretty. So I don't know if that worry factor is why it comes out pretty, or if it just keeps me from actually overdoing it and doing too much. But that's my method and it works for me. Let's put this over here. Now we're going to bring back the main pot and scrape all that down into the colors. Because in the soaping world, we waste nothing. That actually looks exactly the way I kind of expected it to. Hold on. Let's see if I could bring you up. That watermelon with lemonade look, that's the color that was in my head. And my shock was the fact that I had a color or pigment combination that looked like it in my house without having to order something. The brazen hussy was actually a sample that was given to me by Mad Micas. So just the fact that it matched is a good thing, because the picture that was on the watermelon lemonade basically looked like this color with lemons and a shot glass hanging out. So yeah, let's grab that color and decide to escape into the mix. Okay, that's enough of that. Let's grab that. And that's why nitrile gloves come in handy, because latex gloves, they tend to tighten while you're using them, and sometimes they split, and then it makes you wary about when you have to do this, because then you're thinking if there's a hole in it or whatever, that's going to get on your skin, and then you get nervous, and then you don't, shall we say, perform as well as you would because of the fear of a lye burn or whatever. So yeah, let's put this down. Ooh, let's get this corner here that has nothing there. It's literally missing the color. So yeah, because we want to get all of this good color in here. Like I said, this made a very pale pink. Very complimentary. See, in a logical world, I would have blended the white first, then the yellow, and then the orange, because the stronger the color it is, the more it'll bleed into the lighter colors. But I figured with the strong orangey vibe, and I already had white for the base, maybe it would give me a pink. Which it kind of did. It's a pale orangey pink, which actually turns out to be the perfect color for the complement. Yeah. Now, oh, there's some on the, yeah, grab all that. Now let's grab the yellow. Ooh, yellow is so pretty. One of my favorite colors. And I know somebody's going to say, I thought your favorite color was pink and purple. Which is true. Pink and purple are my top two favorite colors. And then yellow is the third. And fact, I have outfits that are that color combination, yellow, pink, and purple, all in one outfit. Sounds like it should not go together, but it works, trust me. Oh, excuse me. Just burped on camera. I remember telling somebody I do not edit certain things. So yeah, you might hear me burp on camera. You might see me fall on camera. I've had a TIA on camera. I actually made a video shortly following my stroke to tell everybody my orders was going to be late. When I say I document my life on YouTube, I am not kidding. So, yeah. But to try to edit that out is just too much because, yeah, I don't have specialized equipment anymore. I'm using a telephone to make these videos, so I'm not going to go do anything special. I'm just going to say, hey, you seen it live and in person. It was like somebody once sent me a message about the lighting in my house. You need to do this and you need to do that. I sent them a message back. Are you paying for all that? Since they weren't, they shut up. Ooh, well, that splashed all the way over there. But it didn't splash towards my face, so I ain't going to worry about it. Okay, let's get all of this goodness out of there. And there's some on the bottom. There, let's get that too. Oh, also somebody asked for me to show what the soap looks like before I do the top treatment, which is going to be a mantra swirl undo. Think I'm going to go that way. So I'm going to show you that in a second. Okay. I swear I'm better with my left hand, but that's not what life dealt me. I actually broke my left wrist when I was 12, so I have to resort to using my right hand for a lot of stuff. Okay, now let's clear all these out of my way, and I'll show you the mantra swirl. Okay. That smells good. I was wondering where that chopstick went to. Okay. So now it looks like this. You can see where I scraped all that out. So now I'm going to do this. And then mantra swirl. There. That's what I mean when I say mantra swirl. But mine ends up looking a little different because I also put a little couple of swoops on there. Everywhere I see a bubble, the alcohol makes the bubbles pop. And then I do a little loop-de-loop in the middle of the bubbles. Now let's come over here. Let's move this out the way. Oh, look at that. do that again. We'll just scrape that over here, then over here, then over here, some over there. Of course, that's going to change the design just a little teeny bit, but I don't mind that. Some of my best designs were oops. If that makes sense. Yeah. Let's get the edges there. Okay. And then we'll get this here. And see, that's what I meant when I said some things are just an emulsion and not a complete trace. That's why that's so light compared to the rest of the soap that had a thicker trace. Yeah. Now let's show you. See, that's a oops, right? But we're going to fix it. Everywhere there's that, we'll just go in a different direction. And then we will redo the mantra. That kind of gave it a different character, didn't it? Now, everywhere I've seen a bubble pop, I'm just going to add a little swoop in a different direction. And that's how I do that. This has been People7 on Twitter and YouTube, People elsewhere on the internet. My soaps located at PurpleButterfly-soaps.myshopify.com. My blog, PurpleButterfly-people.blogspot.com. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Bye now. I'm going to do a flyby, take a couple of pictures, and then end the video there. Well, I think I'll keep the gloves on for right now. Bye now. Let's use my fist to turn off the camera there. And here is the watermelon lemonade. Yeah, doesn't that look gorgeous? That brazen hussy color is really doing the most. And the bright yellow raincoat is very lemony, if you ask me, which is a good thing because it's representing the lemon in the watermelon lemonade. And if you can tell really closely, there's a pale pinkish orange or orangey pink. That was when I mixed the titanium dioxide with the other two colors after I mixed the two main colors. So yeah. And I'm going to extend that swirl just a little bit. Yeah. Okay, Kay, don't overwork it. Leave it alone. I tell myself that all the time, and then I do the opposite. So I'm going to take a picture of this. And then I'm going to put it to bed. Yep. This has been Peepla, otherwise known as Peepla7 on Blue Sky and YouTube. Peepla7, people elsewhere on the internet. My soaps located PurpleButterfly-soaps.myshopify.com. My blog, PurpleButterfly-Peepla.blogspot.com. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Bye now.